Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we got Miss Tahiri, Joe Budden's ex, long time ago. And this was, they always wait till they cripping around and not in a prime no more. Now they understand what's going on. Like, just listen.
I get, the more I realize, you know what, Tahiri, 50-50 is not such a bad idea. See, when I was younger, I used to think that if a man didn't pay for everything, that he wasn't worth it. But now I realize that one person carrying a whole relationship isn't love, y'all. There's a lot of pressure. And that kind of pressure could drain a good man's light, a good man's energy. See, I no longer want a sponsor. I want a partner. It's not always about the money. It's about the effort, communication, and peace. See, I still want to get spoiled, don't get me wrong, but the sexiest thing in a relationship is teamwork. Guys, I've woken up. The older I get, the more I realize, you know what, Tahiri, 50.
Now you woke up. Now you woke up. What you mean you woke up? Tahiri is in her 40s, mind you. Okay. Tahiri is in her 40s. If I don't think she's 50 yet. Let's see, Tahiri. How old is Tahiri? Oh, that y'all ain't even. Oh God. She my age. She 46. Well, she close to my age. She's 46. Miss Tahiri. Nobody care no more, ma'am. Nobody care no more. Nobody care no more. You no longer want a sponsor. Now you want a partner, and 50-50 ain't that bad. What? Out of all this time? Now when you're knocking on 50, because you're knocking on it. We in the same age group. You're knocking on 50. Now you understand what a good man needs and what kind of help. Girl, there is too late. This is what it's meant by it's too late. See, a lot of women think it's just about the age or it's just about desirability. Okay, because she on here right now in a see-through, you know, whatever you want to call that dress or whatever, in her underwear. Okay. So still thirst trapping. That's one. So you ain't learned too many lessons because you still on here thirst trapping on social media, which too old to do. Then on top of that, the other reason why men say women like this, it'd be too late for them. It don't, like I said, it's not necessarily just your age or just whether or not you physically desirable. It be the mentality, the non-desirability of the mentality. Men can see through it because you didn't always think like this. You didn't always feel as though you should be reciprocal in a relationship and that you should give things as well and that you should participate positively within a relationship and let that man feel what you want to feel. You want to feel good and respected and seen and heard in the relationship. So whatever man that you're with in a relationship also wants to be seen, heard, loved, respected, appreciated. He also wants those things. But when you was young and in your prime, that wasn't what you was trying to do. That's not what you was trying to do. You didn't see it that way. That's what makes you and women like you, not just Tahiri, but women along that spectrum. That's what makes it too late. You're too old for it. And men don't want to deal with it because, excuse me, After you've been with this guy, that guy, you've been toxic in relationships, you've had toxic men that you've had relationships with, all of these, the rigmarole that you've gone through with various different men for various different reasons and things of that nature. Now, all of a sudden, when you're no longer in your prime and you can't command the kind of attention that you used to command 15, 20 years ago, you don't have the options that you had when you was in your 20s and stuff like that, when men was on your body, when men was on you trying to figure out, how they can get next to you and how they can stay next to you. Because in all of this time, I'm pretty sure that there was some man somewhere that wanted Tahiri, and not like that really wanted her, like as a wife, like he wanted her. And she either didn't want that man for whatever reason or whatever. Okay. I remember when clips of this had to be years ago, when they were on, when she was on whatever kind of reality show it was. I think some type of couples counseling show or something like that. With the one where she was throwing them apples and at Vado, and then he yoked her up at the end. It was on that show, not that particular incident, but on that show where she was like, you could tell she was mad at him for being him. It wasn't that he was doing anything in particular to her. It's just that, and she said it, she was like, you the brokest dude that I've been with, and he's a millionaire. Like his net worth at that time was like a couple of $1 million. So, but she was still like unhappy about that. She didn't like him. He wasn't the guy that she wanted, whether it was physicality or mentality, whatever the reason was. He wasn't the guy that she wanted. He was willing to be with her, but she didn't like him. So she didn't treat him well. She didn't even treat him nicely. Okay. And so that was the reason behind it. She didn't like who he was. Like he didn't have, in her estimation at that time, he didn't have the funds that she might have been used to, because Joe Budden is worth more than that. He was worth more than that when she was rocking with him. And she, regardless of however toxic that relationship might have been, she has not found a better man than him. And that says more about her than it say about Joe. Because Joe moved on. And Tahiri moved on too. Like she had other relationships. But at the same time, she wasn't able to come out with a man that was financially at Joe Budden's level or better, and a man that she wanted who was a better man than that. And that, like I said, that says more about her and her mentality and how she approaches relationships more than it says about Joe and who he is as a man. And I'm not necessarily saying she needed to stay with Joe. I mean, it is what it is. But it just says a lot, because you weren't able to acquire a better man through over time. And now 50-50 doesn't seem like a bad idea. 50-50? Stop playing. Stop playing, beloved. Come on. This is where you landed. This might get you a man, and he's still probably not going to be the type of man you like. He's probably still not going to be the guy. Whatever kind of man you really attracted to, you're not going to like that guy. If a guy do step to you and really be trying to be serious, you're not likely to really be like vibing with that guy. That's really just how the cookie crumbles. In any case, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.